Episode 1 took place on January 15th, 2017. And now we celebrate with the finish to the 100th episode of This Week in Grip. Hello, everybody out there in Grip World. This is Jedd Johnson. Of course, you know they call me Napalm. And this is the exciting finish to episode 100 of This Week in Grip. We're going to pick up right where we left off with Juji, talking about how long into your later years you can excel at things like grip sport and arm wrestling. But first, many of you have said you enjoyed the tutorials we did with Juji and Tom on grippers, phone book tearing, and the inch dumbbell. Well, I'm telling you what, brother, I've been doing in-depth video tutorials just like that on grip training, grip sport, and feats of strength for over 9 years. And you can access all of it today when you visit thegripauthority.com. You don't know what you're missing. If you were impressed with the tips we shared with Juji and Tom, you'll be blown away with what I share with you at thegripauthority.com. Check it out today. And now, back to the conclusion of episode 100.
I want to say like 03 to 06 was when he was competing or something. Maybe it was maybe a little bit longer. I guess into 09 it was. So maybe 06 to 09 he was competing. But he's easily one of the best guys ever from North America. And probably he could walk onto any competition next weekend and win. He just doesn't go to competitions anymore. He's more of a family man and more just hanging out in his garage and dominating. But
how old is he?
I think he's a little older than me, so maybe 42.
Okay.
Maybe in that range, maybe a little bit older.
I've always been fascinated with with how long you can take grip training, because for me, one of the big worries I have, and I wouldn't say it's a big worry, but it's always there in the back of my mind, like how much longer do I have to be able to do some of the things that I do, and sure. what's my marketability going to be, in 2, 5, 10 years from now, and what can I do to kind of hedge my bet, so to speak, so that I have the best outcome for myself and others, and continue to do what I do, the best I can. I'm going to have to change the way I do some things and stop doing this and start doing more of that. And for me, it looks like grip training, and to a certain extent arm wrestling as well, James, correct me if I'm wrong, has a pretty good outlook in terms of being able to do this as you get a little bit older. Because, Ode Haugen, started strongman when he was like in his 40s, and now he runs the strongman gym, but his grip is absolutely nuts, and he's like 70-something. And there's a lot of old man strength is kind of what a lot of people call it. It's just in the hands. It's just these. Sure. I do. Mark Felix, I actually watched him in person 2 weeks ago at the World's Strongest Man in Florida, Braden Bach, or whatever the hell the town's name was. I don't even remember where I was, man. So I was in Florida. I was in some city in Florida. Yeah, he's like 50. He just walked in and Bradenton, Mark Felix. He doesn't look his age, though. He looks a lot younger. I was like, that dude doesn't look 50.
Yeah, and I'm that way. You got a lot of guys who, are still at the tip top of their game in their 50s, which you can't say that about like any other sport.
Yeah. I think it's good to build. Personally for me, and maybe I speak out of line when I say I'm speaking for others as well, but I think it's good to have an interest in something that, can carry a little bit further than, I don't know, flips and twists. How long can I do that shit for, It's like I'm old for that. Most gymnasts are like in their late teens, early 20s.
Sure.
If you're a 30-year-old in the Olympics, you're a fossil. You're like, why is he here? He's going to tear a bicep now. Watch this happen on the rings. He's going to injure himself again. But arm wrestling and grip training, it's like people can get into it a little bit later. Their longevity seems a bit higher, and I feel like it's good for people to explore things like that and add them to their repertoire.
Yeah, and you keep goals and you keep active and you maintain a hobby and a passion. So, do you have any fitness goals, any numbers you want to hit, or any? It doesn't even have to be strength related, but do you have any goals that you think about that you still want to get to?
I do so many different things. It's really difficult just to pick like certain numberish type goals, so to speak. But in the past few months, I have got my weight down. I've been wanting to get a little bit leaner and be able to go outside and do my flips and tricks and stuff again. Because in the past year, I haven't really been able to do that because my knees were hurting. And I didn't realize what a big difference 10 pounds makes in your frame. I went from like 230 to like low 220s in the past few months. Basically just switching out beef for fish in my meals and just randomly skipping carbs on some meals here and there, and just the hot weather in North Carolina just makes you lose a lot of like water weight on a daily basis. Just your water weight retention is a little bit lower. So it has cut my weight down. So one of my goals is to be able to go outside and feel like light on my feet again, and that's helped. And it's worked. So I've achieved that. I'm enjoying that, and I'm building on that, getting some moves back. As far as like grip training and arm wrestling goes, it's just getting around some of the injuries and pains that I've experienced as a novice, being thrown into the fire, so to speak. So James, I think you've heard me complain about my tendonitis a lot. Good news. Yeah. I haven't had tendonitis issues in 3 months. I think it's gone. I think I've finally gotten over that damn arm wrestling tendonitis. The problem is that I tore something in my tricep, arm wrestling artem, a few months ago, and it's still yet to feel 100%. So I got some pains in the ligaments around both my elbows, and actually I haven't done much gripper training in the past few months, but that's probably one of the worst things for that injury right now. It's just closing a heavy gripper just fires up in a very bad way, that area. So it's almost as if I got a latent injury from too much gripper training, like from months back. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but I don't know what to think of it. Grippers are not my favorite thing, so.
No one on this call has grippers slotted as their favorite thing. Trust me.
Absolutely. Yeah. I have like
sure.
2 or 3 videos on YouTube about why they're a waste of your time. So.
Yeah, I've seen some of those. I'm like, I know I could say this right now, and you guys are going to be okay with this. Yeah. But I feel similarly.
Except
but yeah, I just.
Grippers. We want everyone to get grip genie grippers. So. So there is that. Those work. The other grippers don't work. Grip genie grippers, on the other hand.
God damn it, James. I'm not saying anything right now. I'm not saying a word.
So per my previous question, I thought for sure with a deadlift PR of 666 that you might go for 700. So, but
it's not. Yeah, I mean, losing weight and being able to be light on your feet and jump around and healing your arms for arm wrestling and grip training don't really go along with deadlifting 40 pounds over your PR. They don't really go together. Yeah. You're gonna have to pick one or the other. If I'm gonna up, more than anything, I've been interested in my squats lately, my back squats in terms of leg exercises, because for the life of me, I've always had problems squatting because it hurt my knees. And then I changed everything about my squat about a year ago, and now I'm finally like, this exercise has never felt good in my life, and now it feels good. Holy crap. So I'm just enjoying adding weight to that. So that's an exercise I'm trying to go up in weight in, just because I've never had that before. I've never been able to be like, squatting doesn't destroy my knees, because it always has until now. I'm like, great. Yes, this is what it feels like to squat pain-free. So that's exciting. It's always good to overcome your adversary, especially when you've had it that long. So
sure.
That's good to hear.
So per arm wrestling, just because we were on the subject, I saw you did the WAL event there, and was that Richmond?
It was in Richmond.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have some? Did it inspire you to get involved with the WAL a little bit more to do more
part
events?
of the James, you don't understand, man. I'm wearing a WAL shirt right now. I'm part of the evil empire. You got it. You got.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hear you deflating now. You're like, oh no, they got you too. Nah, WAL is great, but doing more WAL.
Bullshit. What's that?
Bullshit. Oh, you mean the UAL, Ultimate Arm Wrestling? Does it matter what league you're in? It doesn't matter.
It used to, actually, yeah. But
it did. I don't know. You can drop it, James. It doesn't matter. But
so, Alan, what do you have for Juji?
So when are we gonna see some footage of you teaching James how to backflip?
No fucking way.
Come on, no holding out.
Alan, what are you doing to me here? Look, I am built like an ostrich. Had sex with a martini glass, okay, and I'm the love child. I'm not sleeping anytime soon. Not even on a trampoline. Okay.
An ostrich in a martini glass. You've been thinking about that for quite a while. You can't just pull that. You can't pull that one out of your ass that quick.
Right.
I don't
You'd
think.
be surprised.
James is looking in a mirror in the morning. I look like an ostrich and a martini glass got together. What are you thinking about, James?
Yeah. Well, I don't look as flattering as I used to. I don't look, I don't have the V going on like I used to. I haven't seen my abs since I was 26. So.
Hey, make that your goal, That and deadlift 700 pounds.
Yeah.
Why don't we just have all the goals, Oh, I'm just saying when people come up with a goals list, they just list everything. It's like, yeah, I did that when I was 17 once. It never works. It's everything.
Because I do something similar, but what I do is I'll take a lot of time and focus it on one or two goals, hit those goals, and then move on to the next one. So
yeah,
like
it's hard to do though.
It is.
Because you have to have the discipline to know that those other things are not going to melt if you don't do them for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's the rough part,
Yeah.
No, it'll mess with your head quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, damn you, Alan. I just want to say that.
I had to put it out there.
Oh. Damn you.
Hey, on a more serious note, Juji, what is one of your favorite grip devices to work with when you're training?
It's got to be a rolling handle implement. We saw one. It's called an RGT, rolling grip thing, but that variation of a grip tool with a fat handle, no knurling, revolving. You could do a lot of things with it. I think it's just good to train with, but I like to attach it to like cable stacks and do bodybuilding exercises with it on the end of a drop set for like a mechanical drop set thing. I just like how many different things you can do with it, and it gives you a good pump. It's good for arm wrestling. I find it the most versatile and best one. That's my favorite grip tool to train with.
Okay. I would have picked you for the hub, actually. All right.
The hub is not my favorite at all.
Okay. Is this what I see you mostly doing?
I think the reason. Okay, yeah, I don't know, but I guess the theory is if you see me do the hub a lot, it's because you don't have to add much weight to it to get started in a video. You slap 50 pounds on a hub, and you're good. It's like 50 pounds on a hub is like impressive. You can do it cold. It's there. You don't have to add like almost 200 pounds of plate weight around the gym and ship the shit back and forth, for a rolling handle for a video. It's like a hub, here we go, that. And if you're doing a video with a hub, like there's I'm sorry, but there's no technique for like a rolling handle, fed handle implement. There's very little technique involved. But a hub, like there's a certain way you chalk, there's a certain grip, there's a certain way of setting it with your other hand. Standing over it, directly over it is more important. There's just a lot of little things, and that shit's interesting to people that have never been exposed to grip, just to see so many little things going into a lift that doesn't involve much weight. And then you can see instant improvement. So you got a guy lifting a hub for video, and he's like, wow, you suck at this, but watch me be a magic genie and like grant your wish here and tell you all these tips, and all of a sudden you're able to lift it. Wow, he lifted it now. It's like a parlor trick almost. It's like, wow, technique does matter, but you can't do that on a lot of the other grip tools, not as well as
Sure. That makes sense. Okay, fair enough. All right. Well, cool. Cool.
I gotta ask, Jedd's just is Jedd still here?
I'm still here, brother.
You agree with me on that one?
Oh yeah, sure, definitely. There's two great points there. You don't need a lot of weight, and it shows people how detailed you can get into it. Because most people are just grabbing it. They're not optimizing anything when they lift it. They just don't realize how big of an impact small adjustments can make. Yeah. Well, and that goes back to something that you said earlier, too, because you said that you started out with your tricking by watching videos and pausing them and looking for, like, toe angles and things like that. And that's something that I'm huge on talking to people about is video analysis. And some of that stuff you can't figure out until you look at videos.
I actually don't even think videos can give you everything you need for grip training, though. Like, when you showed me to find the rough spot on the Thomas inch, and then to pull the thumb back, and then just have that stretch of skin there, and then close off the gap, all these little things. Yeah. I'm sorry, but I could watch videos, and unless you explain that in a video specifically, if I just watch people lift the Thomas inch and try to analyze what they're doing without any explanation, I never figure that out. I would never see those little things. You don't even know to look for them. They're so micro. But having someone explain them to you in person or explain them in a video specifically, like, that's huge, Tricking, like the acrobatic flips and stuff, there's such gross skills. They're so much larger. It's very obvious what's happening. It's like the guy's feet are in this direction. You can't miss that. You cannot not see that. It's there. He's jumping. He's spinning. This is happening. You can see everything. You can't see everything in a grip lift because they're so small.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of the it's tactile learning in some ways, and it's nuanced. It's very nuanced. It's not like that. Yeah.
And arm wrestling is a real bitch in that respect.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. I'll admit it. It's a pain in the ass. It looks very basic, but there's so many things going on. Yeah. Hey, speaking of which, I saw that you guys did the video, the Ninja Warrior video. What was that experience like? And when is that airing?
I don't know. I think it already aired. I don't know. No, I don't know. I didn't see it. I mean, I don't know. But people will be like, "Hey, you're on the show." I was like, "Really? I don't even know anymore." Because a lot of times licensing companies will buy my footage, and then I won't actually know that I was on anything until after it has aired. They don't announce when it's happening. It's just like it could be, yeah. So I'll sell a video of me like doing a chair split. Okay, it's been on TV on different commercials because different companies have used it or something, and then I'll get a bunch of messages from people. Hey, Santander Bank in England, you're on their commercial. I'm like, really? I had no idea, But the Ninja Warrior thing. They actually said they weren't going to film it. They're like, oh, you're not going to film our guest runs? No, we're not. And then at the last second, they're like, you guys are filming this. Yeah, we're filming it. Like, you said you weren't going to film it. I could see the cameras moving. You're filming this. You're literally filming this. So I think it aired. They told us July 27th is when we could post our video, which is when we did. And they told us we had to wait for them to air it. So I imagine they might have aired the Cincinnati episode already. But I didn't wait to look for it or anything. I'm just like, I've had this experience. It was a pain in the ass, and I don't even want to relive it by watching it on the TV. But
so a little forgettable. Yeah.
It's
but you know what? I mean,
yeah.
look, you cut yourself, and then you got up and you did it again. I think that's great. But,
yeah, it was very nice of them to let me run it 3 times, the course, to stage it that way, because most people get to run it once. I got to run it 3 times. So it's like, hey, I failed the second obstacle twice. On the 3rd time, I beat it, and that shit was hard for me. I was like, this is really hard. I mean, the second time, I was, like, depressed. I was like, I don't know what else I could do. I couldn't do anything better than I did that time. And now I got to wait another hour to go again. I'm just going to cool down and be tired, and now everyone's going to watch me because that's the nighttime one. It's like it was really depressing, but I don't know. I just went there and did it again, and it worked out. When I was able to beat the second obstacle on the 3rd try, I was like, oh my God, it was such a rush. It's like, I don't even care that I just ate shit on the 3rd obstacle right after it, I could care less. All I know is that I failed twice on that one, and I got it in the 3rd, and I was like, okay, I'm good. That's all I needed.
I've known a few people who've done it, like a few arm wrestlers and such that have done it, and they're always 145-pound guys that, do ninja training as well. So it's like, when you're 230-plus pounds and, even if you have a very strong back and strong grip and you're athletic and graceful and all of those other things, it's still not an easy course to get through,
No, it's not. And the other thing about Ninja Warrior in particular is that, I would say it's like 75% grip stuff, favored towards arm wrestlers and not arm wrestlers, maybe arm wrestlers, but mostly rock climbers and people that are used to jumping. But then 25% of the obstacles are purely balance obstacles, like giant, like rotating balloon-looking ball things that you have to jump across. And here's the problem with that, James. Any Ninja Warrior gym I've ever been in is just grip stuff. It's just like a rock climber hybrid between that and like a Ninja Warrior thing. It's just like, this is all just like pinch holds and pinch jumps and pinch this and pinch that and pinch this and that. It's like, where do I actually train like the balance stuff, like these, because I'm going to run into this on the course and it's going to own me. Because we went to like 3 or 4 different Ninja Warrior gyms, within hundreds and hundreds of mile radius, and none of them had anything to train on for that. So I was like, well, I'm just going to get fucking owned here. There's no way. I tried to train for this. I tried. I traveled 4 hours out of town to go to the gym that didn't have a single thing like it. Like, so disappointing. But
I don't think any actual ninjas had to jump across like vibrating, rotating cones that were like balloons. So
well, if they did, hopefully they fared better than I did.
Well, you had talked about how some of the footage of things that you've done, it shows up in commercials and such, and you talked about doing something after this, what's next in your life. Do you get offers to do acting gigs and such?
I do. I don't know about acting, but maybe I think the most common one would be something along the lines of this. We are a group that works with this network, and we want you to be the host of a new show that involves X, Y, and Z, and we're still fleshing out the details, so we want to collaborate with you to see if you want to do this. And I've been through this process maybe 3 times now, and you write these huge emails back and forth. You get on these conference calls. They send you packets of information, NDAs, all this stuff, and you never really get anywhere with it. They never actually give you any sort of idea of your compensation. It seems like a lot of them are just taking your ideas and mining you for ideas, and they never actually want to take it anywhere. They just want to take it to someone else and be like, well, based on these conversations I had with Juji, I think this is a good direction to take the show without him, because
that's bullshit.
I don't know. It's just, it is bullshit. So after a while, I got a funny story, actually. One of the guys, his name was Dustin. I don't know his last name. Had another call scheduled with me. He's in LA, and he's late for the phone call, and I'm sitting there trying to call him, and then 30 minutes later I start my workout because like, okay, I guess I had a workout scheduled after this conference call with this dude who me and him are developing this thing together. And he calls me in his convertible with the windows down driving. So it sounds like he's got a fan blowing on the phone the whole time. Hey, John, sorry I forgot about your call. I was getting a manicure, and I just had to And yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know that we're still looking at this, and I'll tell you what, as a group, like, we have more success than anyone, and blah blah blah, and let me just name drop and show drop and all this stuff, and we're doing you it'll be a big favor for you, blah 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 blah, and I'll give you a ring later. Bye. What the fuck was the point of that? Like, I swear the phone call went. Dude, I'm not joking. The phone call went like that. It was like, the dude calls me half an hour later in his convertible because he had a nail appointment, forgot to call me. Blows a bunch of smoke up my ass about how great he is and how great his company is, and hangs up. Okay, that's great. And that's been a lot of my experience with working with groups like that. It's just, but here's the thing. Not to draw this out too far, but I would rather be doing my own thing again. Yeah, I mean, Jedd, do you want to go back to the meat factory again? What if you did do you want to do a show? Do you want to be the host of a show where you go through different meat factories and like undercover Bob? I don't know. It's like, can I just do my own thing? Me and Tom are already making a show. Why should I go and work with another group who has given me no promise of what I'm going to get out of this experience working with them, to create an idea for a show that they don't even really know us. They don't know us, who we are. It's like some of the things I say is like, you obviously haven't done your research on me or what we do, because we already do that. So that's kind of been the experience of that.
Well, that's cool. What would you say is the coolest experience that you've had since you started getting known? From the tricking days until now. I mean, you guys travel a lot and you have some really cool opportunities. What would you say has been the coolest one?
I think what you just said there is actually the coolest opportunity. It's just just the way I was talking to Tom in the car the other day. I'm like, I don't know why, but it's like I have a VIP pass just to go to anyone who does anything at any given time and just work with them that does things that I want to do. Like, cool. I can work with professional arm wrestlers. I can work with professional grip guys. I can work with professional strongmen. We're in an athlete's tent at the WOSM. We're the only people there at the World's Strongest Man, besides the caretakers for the athletes that are filming. It's like, why are they letting us in? It's like, this. I don't even feel like this is okay. If I was them, I wouldn't let me in. I don't know why this is happening, but I have the freedom to just kind of walk in and out of all these different, like, I can go up to talk to professional bodybuilders and go backstage and all this stuff. It's like, it's a dream, man. It's like, I have carte blanche. Yeah, it's just like, this is so cool. So that's my favorite thing about the VIP pass. It's like, who else has this? I don't know who else has this pass. I don't think anyone else does. It's like, Tom. You could be a professional. Tom does. Yeah. But that's so cool. I was like, I'm so thankful for that. I'm just really excited because it's like, and I still like this stuff. I care about these sports. I care about learning this stuff, the way the body works against these things, and learning all the tricks and the carryovers between them and the culture. And to be able to talk to the best in any of these is where I'm going to get some of the coolest information,
Yep.
It's just,
absolutely.
I don't know.
Very cool.
I'm just geeking out over it. That's been my favorite thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you guys have any other questions for Mr. Juji?
Alan.
Just one quick one regarding the Grip Genie grippers. I noticed this is something James and I were talking about quite a while back. The spring winding on the grippers, your higher level, they're wound the opposite direction. Was that by design?
No, it wasn't by design. So the manufacturer shipped them to that way, and the explanation that they gave us was that whatever the machine was that they used to do the winding spring had an extreme difficulty doing the right-hand turn for the bigger wires, the thicker, bending it. So that was what they told us. It said it could bend it a right-hand gripper for the 1 through 4s. We go to 6, GG 1 through 6. But then the 5th and the 6th, the machine couldn't actually turn it that way. So they had to turn it the way the machine was made to be turning the grippers the right way, and that would be a left-hand turn. So that's why, we didn't know they were going to ship them to us like that. So it's like, okay, well, we have them here like this now. And we only had a few people that got them and that were upset, but for the most part, most people who are buying the grippers aren't strong enough for the 5 and the 6, and
Sure.
they're going to be training on the lower levels. And you know, for myself, I never even paid attention to left or right turn gripper. I mean, I trained the Captain's the Crush from Iron Mine myself. You know, the 2, 2.5, and 3 is usually the range I stick in, and I train my left hand stronger than my right on grippers, and I'm training my left hand with right turn grippers. So it's like, it doesn't matter to me. I don't know. I mean, it probably matters to some people, but it never really bothered me. So in the future, we're going to fix that because we're going with a different manufacturer in the future. And the thing is that all the grippers that we've got, the thing is that with all the grippers that we have gotten, the amount of QC work that we've had to do in our place has been tremendous. Just the sheer amount of man hours. So we've put in a lot of work. To get them.
That's what I was referring to before. Is that, you know, I know you guys had a little bit of glitch with the manufacturer there in China, and that you guys had to put a lot of work in, you know, on this end in order to get the grippers into a place where they were, you know, at the quality you wanted them. We'll put it that way.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know if Tom would be okay with me saying this about our grippers, but the way I described them jokingly is that the parts are made in China, but they're made in the USA. Because when we've gotten the amount of work we've had, it's like, we got the parts now, and they did it wrong, so now we're going to make them right. So it's like made in the USA, the parts are from China, sourced from China. So that's the way it works. But in the future, we were already getting a different manufacturer to move forward because we want the best grippers, and I don't think we can have to beat ourselves up over not having the best product on the market immediately upon launch. You know, it's like you can't expect yourself out of that, and no company should. No company should be like, I'm going to wait until the perfect product before I launch. It's never going to happen because the perfect product comes from, you know, after you think it's already good, you realize, it could be better, and you just keep improving. You got to put stuff out there and move forward. So we're moving forward, and appreciate the feedback as well from, and we're glad that we have you guys as our friends because
of course
we need help. You know, we need help getting the feedback from the right people as well, and you guys are the best in that. So we very much appreciate it and want you to be as honest as you can.
Positively.
Hey, I got something for you, Juji. I know last year when you were at the gym, you were slightly considering at least doing the King Kong of Grip challenge. I was just wondering if you were aware of that when it's going on this year, and possibly if you had any plans in competing in that. It's October 26th, I believe, the final Saturday of October. Is that something that might be on your radar? Yeah, it's the 26th.
Do you know where it is?
This is one of those multi-venue competitions, so they're held all over the place. I've got the list of locations right now, and probably the closest one for you is going to be Tallahassee, Florida.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is Nigel putting it on?
Yeah, Nigel will be putting it on. Yeah.
All right, I might go.
Is that your guys' favorite grip event? If you had to pick one,
well,
I think you guys have mentioned this
probably it's one of the longest running multinational events. I mean, it started in 2013. It's been going ever since. It's accumulated some pretty good renown, and you know, people follow it. A lot of people compete in this one that don't compete in other competitions. It's, you know, and you got the opportunity to compare yourself against other people in other countries because it's going on in Canada, obviously USA, England, Norway, Finland, Austria, Russia, Germany, Ukraine, Australia, and there may have been more locations added since then. So, you know, there's, you know, it's a contest that's on most people's radar that are serious about grip. So I mean, it's a pretty important competition.
I think last year it was in Tennessee. was the one
That's
closest
correct
to me.
Yeah,
yeah.
And I don't see that listed on the list this year. I'm not sure why.
That was actually the same day. That was the same day that we filmed the fourth part of our series at your place, where you guys had the little tournament where I was 2 days post-op and grumpy, and I had my flame. Yeah, that was that day. That was the same day.
Well, October gives me plenty of time to plan for that as well. I will have to overcome some injuries I have in my elbows from arm wrestling. Is the worst thing for grip training. I'm sorry. I think it's true though. I think Lucas Raymond, your friend Jedd, he told me that arm wrestling has been the worst thing for his grip training, and I feel like it's been the same for me ever since I started all these arm wrestling practices and stuff. It's
I actually think
it's it's like
his business is the worst thing for his grip training. But as far as like the other strength sports, I would agree with that. The arm wrestling definitely doesn't contribute much to it.
I might have to figure out an elegant way of periodizing this, because I think I have an arm wrestling event in September. I'm probably going to have to compete again. Compete in, and then September to October.
Okay. I was going
might give me time to reboot the grip. Invite me away?
Yeah. No, I was going to invite you guys. I'm doing another, like in early June, I did like a food, beer, and strength fest here where we had stone lifting, Denny Stones, Atlas Stones, arm wrestling. We did grip stuff. We did Highland Games stuff. Wayne came down and brought weights to throw and stuff like that. And we just did it at my house. And we ended up doing bending and tearing and all kinds of stuff. And it was like 8 hours, and we were all destroyed and just about drunk and full of food at the end of it. And we were going to do that again in August or September. And we were going to invite you guys if you guys wanted to come. You, Tom, even Bosif, if Bosif would like to come.
But Bo doesn't like to do anything anymore. He just likes to play video games and fix grippers.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. See, the one word that popped up in my head there when you said tearing, I'm thinking of all the phone books you gave me, Jedd, that are just sitting in my other garage, my arch nemesis.
I'll take
it. This is the hardest. That's one thing that I've been very bad at, when you throw me in, that I should have been good at on the first go, like I should be natural at this, but that was like, fuck these phone books, man. I hate this. They're the worst.
I noticed from the point that you got to the gym that day until the point where we were doing phone books, by the time you hit the phone books, you were like trembling. It was like your nervous system was about ready to shut down. Like I just it looked like you were uncomfortable big time.
I went to Jedd's Grip amusement park and spent the whole day. Let me ride this ride at the end. The phone book ride didn't go too well.
Well, anytime that you want to come back, dude, you're more than welcome. Just let us know if you're swinging by again.
Yeah. Hey, I got a question for all you guys, actually. Speaking of, goals with arm wrestling, grip training, and different events coming up and getting together again and having a good workout and having a good time. I love all you guys. I'm trying to rehab my elbows here. It's, the muscle on the, what muscle I'm talking about, the pronator muscle, James, and then a muscle on the back, of the elbow as well, almost on the complete opposite side. If I just brush
the other side?
Yeah, there's one on that one too. It's almost like a bone, like the acromion or something.
Yep.
I got just pain there all the time, and I'm just wondering, like, maybe there's something I'm not doing that I could. I don't do any extensor band training. Do you guys do any of that?
That's exactly what I was going to suggest, is extensors. Because I know that when I train extensors, I don't tend to get that pain. Jedd would probably know more about that. The other thing that I do for that, it's just to kind of provide a little balance between sort of that side of the forearm and the wrist flexor, is I do a lot of reverse wrist curls with a wrist wrench. Like I've been using your version there, the I've been using that.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
And I'll turn it the opposite way, and I'll do reverse wrist curls with weight hanging from a loading pin, and that helps with that because a lot of I get a lot of pain in that area from a lot of the heavy preacher curling that I do. So I'm very familiar with that pain.
Okay, so reverse wrist curls. That means my wrist is pronated. You're hanging it off an arm. You're hanging it off an arm wrestling bench or a table, and
or just have it hanging straight down, like you're standing over it. And instead of having the handle wound the way where it's pushing against your thumb, like the normal way that you would pick it up.
Yeah.
Where it tries to rotate through your hand, you'd have it going the opposite way.
So the fingers and strap are on the same side.
Yes. Yep. Exactly.
Okay, I'll have to give that a shot.
Yeah.
All right.
And start. I mean, you'll realize you can do a lot more weight than you think, but start light. And I usually will do sets of like 10 to 15. And very gradually increase it. That tends to help with that. And we've talked about this in the past. I'm a big fan of contrast baths and naproxen for that. And the rest.
Well, I got a super ice bathtub now, so I'm good with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We should try that Iron Maiden thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Iron Maiden thing. Yeah, Jedd doesn't have any injuries because of his Iron Maiden.
It's all about joint distraction, man. One click shy of drawing and quartering. That's all about.
Well, Jedd, what would your input be on that? Because you're a little more advanced than me on that subject.
I tend to agree. I mean, I don't do much like rubber band extensor work anymore. I honestly haven't done those in years, but I've found that I'm able to keep my pain away with mostly like reverse curls. So maybe just a slight variation of what you're doing. But I use Easy Curl Bar.
Yep.
That's
okay. So you just do.
I don't know if that's going to fix your pronator. If it's truly the pronator, then I would do like some kind of pronation training that's extraordinarily light, but do tremendously high volume.
Yep.
So even just a small leverage tool like a carpenter's hammer, a ball peen hammer, whatever.
Maybe just a loading pen.
Loading pen. Like the main thing is you want to do volume work. You don't want to do. You're not trying to like strength train or work some kind of giant hammer on the floor or anything like that. You just want to move your hand through that range of motion so you stimulate the area. Because chances are, it's probably an area that doesn't get a lot of direct blood flow. So you want to feed that area and like engorge the area. So you want to do really, really high volume but very, very low resistance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a new exercise I haven't tried yet. Have I asked who?
The arm toucher.
Who's the arm toucher?
Yeah, isn't he? Don't you guys call him the arm toucher? The guy that guy you go to in Matthews. He's like
right.
Guy.
Oh yeah. Ken. His name's Ken. He he usually every time he works on my arms, he's like, they're pretty thrash. Like they're all sticking together. It's like, and they'll usually feel better for a couple days, but then I feel like the best my arm has felt since my injury has just been with Devin. Actually, Devin's very good at just kind of like moving you through different ranges of motion and not messing with you too bad. When you're arm wrestling, and just he knew I was injured, and he told me to put up my injured arm on the table anyway. He was just going to walk me through some motions and put some blood in there, and just working with him just real lightly and just test.
Hey, did we lose Juji?
I can't tell. Nope. Kind of.
I don't know. I don't know. I started hearing an echo and stuff, but
yeah. I wonder if he got booted. I wonder if he got kicked off somehow.
That's all right. I just got a text from Tom too. He says he slept through his alarm and he's trash and he's sorry. So you wanted you guys to know that.
I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You guys cut off there for a second there. I don't remember the last thing I said. So.
No, you're talking
you
about
said
Devin.
you got on the table with Devin and he was putting you through some stuff to just get some blood flow in there.
Yeah, and it would feel better for a couple days, but then after that it just kind of like starts to get real dull and numb and hurts again, really sharp. So it's just like, when does the actual work start to heal it permanently? Is this like something I have to do forever to make sure it feels better? Because I'm not abusing it. I'm not doing anything to offend it anymore. So it seems like all these instances of therapy, like massage and light work and stuff, should start to actually change things. But it's just like it always goes back to like, why is this injury still here?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point. One thing that happens is, and I don't know if this is true with you, but almost everybody that has an injury that I've worked with, and I'm not a doctor or a therapist. Like I just help people with their stuff based on what I've done that's helped me. And everybody that has a lingering injury that my stuff doesn't fix, they have a postural issue. So either they're extremely badly internally rotated at the upper arm, or they have like the chin deal where they're really bad slouched forward, or their pecs are really tight. And I think a lot of times it's that's causing the problem. So it's upstream. It's not necessarily where you're feeling the injury, but it's something that's it's being expressed downstream, away from the hindrance that you got going on in your shoulders. So I don't know that that's your case, but I know that with a lot of times when it's something that won't go away for somebody, I see a picture of them and their posture's shit. So it's getting opened up from that. I think that was a big part of my problems when I was like 32 to 35. I put on a lot of weight and I was sitting down a lot holding my daughter, and my arm got internally rotated holding her as she was growing. Feeding her bottle and stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, my left arm used to be in really bad pain through that period. Very, very bad pain. And it wasn't until I got thoracic outlet syndrome, I had to go to therapy. That's when I started hanging out with Luke, because he was my therapist. And once I addressed that, I haven't had very many problems at all. The last time I recall, knock on wood, having any kind of forearm pain was when I went too heavy on a reverse curl during August of Arms. I was trying to just curl too much weight in an overhand curl, and I tweaked something, but it wasn't an overuse thing. So maybe look and see if there's a postural issue that you've got going on. I'm not sure, or something else that might be coming from your shoulder area.
Yeah, I could check my shoulders because my shoulders hurt lately, but they haven't really bothered me in anything I do. So, but I've noticed, like, I thought it was because I was sleeping on them wrong, like, one under, but I've always, like, my shoulder underneath my head, for example, I sleep like that a lot on my side. Yeah. And it's never really bothered me before, but lately I've been waking up and it's like, my shoulders kind of hurt. I think I just slept on them wrong, and it's like it seems like it's every night now. So it could be coming from the shoulders. I'll have to look up to see some trigger point and referred pain patterns to see if it's doing anything. Thanks, Jedd.
Yeah, absolutely, man, for sure.
And what is this with the reverse curl thing you guys are talking about? You guys do this shit for fun? What is this?
No, it's like it bulletproofs my forearms. It's like all I need to do, basically. Do that like once a week with an easy curl bar, and I'm golden. So that's been, I don't know, a few years, staple of my training.
Do you use fat grips or anything on them? Anything to thicken up the bar?
No, dude. I don't even push them that hard. I do like a quarter added to a 13-pound bar, and I do like 3 sets of 10.
Okay. It's like grips equivalent to a pull-apart or a face pull, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's one of those balance things. You throw it in, high reps, high frequency, and it just keeps the universe at ease, Otherwise, you take it out, it's like things get achy and Well,
do you do it too, Alan?
I do reverse curls religiously. Yes, not reverse curls. It would be like a bicep curl, except palms down kind of thing. But yes, that is a staple thing. Every time I grip train, that's the tail end of it for me. Sometimes just 1 or 2 sets, but it's enough to keep. I'm a tennis elbow and golfer's elbow kind of guy, and the reverse curls keep the tennis elbow long gone. So, and I think golfer's elbow, I get rid of a lot of like the pronation, supination exercises keep that in check.
Yep.
So
yeah, I agree. I agree. And also, reverse curls were a preferred exercise of posting top rollers during the 1990s for all of you arm wrestlers out there. So
wow, this is quite an endorsement for this exercise. I'm going to do them now, right now. We're not even going to finish this call. I'm going to go get an easy crow bar and start doing them right now.
It'll certainly help with forearm size.
Oh, I know. Well, that would be good, yeah, because that's a big thing for grip training and arm wrestling. Is part of the lure of it is just the vanity of having bigger forearms.
I probably have some of the smallest forearm flexors. Like my gooseneck flex is pathetic. It's embarrassing. Like I don't even do it. But I probably have some of the bigger, the back of my forearm, like the brachioradialis, is probably, considered respectable because I do so much reverse curls. I don't do any forearm flexion shit at all. That's the only stuff I do for that is grip training. So, yeah. There's probably like the reverse imbalance in my forearms. Like normally people's flexors are way stronger, and then the pronated flexors are all weak. I'm probably the other way around.
Well, I wouldn't change anything you're doing because it seems to be working. Pain-free, grip records broken on the regular. Seem to be okay, Jedd. No problem.
Yeah, I'll stick with that. I hope it works for you, man. Pain sucks. So
it does.
Yes.
Yeah, we're talking about doing this into old age, and now we're talking about how to actually continue doing it. Fucking yourself up.
Well, you said you're what, like 32, 33?
Yeah, I'm 33. Yeah.
Yeah. So those were some of my worst days, dude. Those were some of my worst days.
What?
I'm pretty sure I was still at the beef plant at the time, so I was sitting down all the time. And then the period of having a newborn where you don't get all the sleep that you need. You're getting up in the middle of the night to feed the kids, stuff like that. I was up to, by 2012, dude, I was close to 300 pounds. So it was a really bad turn for my health during those years. So the more pain-free years have probably been since like 2013 and on. So that's so I'm 40 now. So I guess 33 or so. That's when I was like, Jesus, I got to do something. And, or else I don't even know if I'd be training right now, let alone competing at grip at such a high level. So it's made a big difference for me, and just more like the soft work, doing stuff that takes care of your body, and that's what I always try to impress upon the people I work with, is the importance of matching all your hard work with the soft work, so that you can continue to progress for so long.
Yeah. All right.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think I wasn't going to use the excuse like, oh, I'm too old and this is why I have these problems. I knew that wasn't it. So
that doesn't fly with this crowd either.
Oh yeah, it's the wrong crowd to be having those excuses for, But that's great. Those
geriatrics you're on the phone with.
That gives me some new tools to try, because I haven't tried those 3 things yet. Those 3 exercises you just gave me. That's good.
Well, that'll be helpful. Yeah. Well, guys, do we want to wrap up?
Yeah, I don't have anything else.
Yeah, I'm bled dry. I got nothing left, dude. Thanks for being on the call again, John. And
absolutely.
Maybe we can have you on again sometime. Like I said, you're always welcome up here to the gym if you're coming through. You want to catch a workout, or you want to do more videos, or just hang out and get a meal or something, let us know.
Yeah. You can make me some more chili.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys so much for having me on the 100th episode.
Yeah, man.
Very
Thanks a lot
cool.
for helping us
Thanks
celebrate
for joining us.
Yeah,
absolutely.
this is awesome.
Well, take it away, Alan. Go for it, brother.
All right. Well, that's it for episode 100 of This Week in Grip. Hope everybody liked it. Make sure you comment and subscribe, and we'll be back again next week with another one. We'll see you then.